Hi, I'm with Patrick Dlamini today. And Patrick, we were just talking earlier amongst ourselves about the importance of employee engagement. And I think it's important for you to share your thoughts, maybe with our audience, about what you think about a leader's perspective and an organization's perspective on the importance of engagement.
Thank you very much, Jim. My perspective of engaged employees and an engaging workplace, it's all about leadership creating the right environment for employees to wake up every morning and look forward to being at work, because their work that they do gives them self-fulfillment. The work that they do creates a great institution and creates a great environment. This is the kinds of leadership that becomes quite critical, that we always look at balancing working hard and also making sure that employees are engaged. But engaged workplace is also about institutions or companies that also take the, when you look at the S-curve, the bottom of the S-curve is the entry level. The guys between the bottom of the S-curve to the top just before the S-curve plateaus are employees who are engaged. And those are people that really feel the challenge, they love the challenge. And at the top of the S-curve, those are people at mastery level, actually, who are at the risk of being bored. So which then says you rejuvenate their S-curve. So knowing that 15% is at the entry, 70% is at the engaged part of the S-curve, and the last 15% being at the mastery or the risk of being bored level, because those are the guys who've been around. So creating that space for people at the entry, it's educational. They're looking forward to be engaged. The engaged employees are people who are almost like, if you to think of President Roosevelt, those are people who are in the arena. People whose faces actually are masked with sweat, whose faces are masked with sweat and blood. People who keep on failing and keep on trying and making sure that their daring is about daring greatly. And at the top, those are masters. Create spaces for them to mentor those guys who are engaged. Create spaces for them to mentor those guys at the bottom. Also rejuvenate their own personal escapes so that they get into being engaged. Because when you are at the mastery, you are easily bored and you tend to be very expensive for the institution. But for me, if we were to look at the S-curve model, the S-curve model is about the big part of the S-curve. Those are workplaces that are engaging their employees. Those are employees that are developing themselves. Those are employees that are at the challenge. Those are employees that are creating massive value for both themselves and as well as for the organization that they're working for.
Patrick, I think that's an excellent example on the S-curve for organizations, if they're watching this right now, to really take into account to make sure they become a high-performing organization. And I would also challenge everybody to go out there and find the Roosevelt quote about a man in the arena, because it is absolutely appropriate for what you said, and you referenced it, and it's an amazing quote by Roosevelt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.